Welcome back.
BTA,
Welcome
BTA,
back. I love it.
BTA,
I love it.
BTA.
We're thinking about starting this episode a little different here today. We're gonna talk about a little bit of baseball. Um,
Not just baseball.
not just baseball,
Tigers, Tigers baseball.
baseball. Um, so I don't like the Astros personally. That never because of what they have done. However,
What did they cheat on? I never looked into it. What was it that they cheated on?
they cheated against the Yankees, and then they cheated to get to the World Series and win the World Series.
Like how did they like what did they do?
They knew what pitch was coming before it came,
Wow.
and they were banging on trash cans. That was like the whole joke in like
You're right. Okay.
2016 or whatever year that was. But
I do remember that.
Tigers beat them 2-0. That was
2-0.
um
Impressive.
I was watching that in class because it was a 2:32 p.m.
First
start.
pitch.
Crazy.
Mhm.
But listen, anytime the Astros lose up makes me happy. I'm just gonna be straight up. Parker Meadows, he's outfielder for the Tigers. Started us
Um,
home run. Then he had a nice little snag at the end in the ninth inning. Saved the
yeah,
game, honestly. But he's looking great. I know Austin Meadows didn't look that good. But Parker Meadows he's killing it. Really
he's
is.
really good.
This is the first Tigers postseason win since 2013.
13.
Thank God. And then I actually saw a
And in a
graphic
minute.
earlier today. It's from ESPN actually. It's the Tigers are the fourth team in history to win a playoff series after being 10 plus games behind of a playoff spot for at least 110 games into the season. And the all three teams that did it were the 2011 Cardinals, the 69 Mets, and the 64 Cardinals. And all three of those teams went on to win the World Series, which, hey, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but
Neither.
listen,
But coming back from like a 0.2% deficit about a month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago, is pretty impressive.
I agree. I mean,
0.2% chance to make the playoffs. I'm sorry.
they,
Yeah.
they let Detroit get hot and now they're rolling. They really are.
Bro.
It's amazing.
They're like the team that no one wants to face right now. I wouldn't want to face Detroit right
Oh,
now.
which is
If I
shocking.
was any other team, if I was any other team.
I agree. Which is shocking to me because I don't know why they gave us the 2:32 p.m. slate. I would have thought, considering everybody wants to watch the Tigers because the story and everything, that it
Yeah.
would have been more of a prime time or later at least than 2:30 because everybody's working
Yeah.
at school and stuff like that. So
I agree.
it's like a Hollywood script I saw, you know? I mean,
They can
Verlander
keep
didn't
they can
pitch in
keep
the
this
series, but we beat Verlander, who was here for a very long time. And listen, that's a little extra, you know?
almost feels like this like the Stafford equivalent, whereas the
It
Rams.
is. It literally is. Those guys did so much for us when they were here, and for us to be able to beat them in the way we did in the situational time we beat them makes it that much
Yeah.
better. Really does.
100%.
Which I think transcends into is Detroit back?
Detroit back. It's talking about just baseball or just
I'm
sports in
talking about
general.
Detroit as a whole.
Detroit,
It's looking great for us right now here in Detroit.
Detroit is Detroit is one of the hottest sports towns in the country right now, if not the hot, in my opinion, the hottest.
I would agree,
I mean,
honestly. I mean,
the storylines, the what we're being able to accomplish, these long stretches and 10 years of such bad seasons and people that we're like just abolishing right now.
yeah,
Um,
it's
on
great.
all every aspect, like just football, baseball, hockey, basketball is a
Oh,
little,
I don't even
but
know. So the Tigers made the divisional now, playing who are we playing?
the
What am I
Guardians.
blanking? The Guardians, yes. I think it's a winnable series. I really do. But
That's the five, right?
yep, best of five. So hopefully
Okay.
we just 3-0 it off the rip. That's not
Gotcha.
gonna happen. But and then we play the winner of the Kansas City New York Yankees series. So
Mm,
or not we, but the winner of our series.
yeah.
I guess
Okay.
I'm not gonna get ahead of myself here, but listen, it's great. It really is. And with that being said, going to the whole Detroit aspect, Red Wings extended Lucas Raymond this past week or two. They extend Lucas Raymond, who was a really good forward for us, young guy. I think maybe a little overpaid, but he's here for a while now. And then they also got Mo Sider back and Patrick Kane back as well. So I think the Red Wings are going to be in a really good position here, and
Yeah,
similar to last year, but maybe a little bit better.
they should
With
make the
that,
playoffs at least. At
I
least.
at least the world is good when Hockey Town is good. Let's be honest. when Detroit sports is succeeding, it just feels nice. It really does.
It
Um,
really does. Like it makes me so in tune with the city when with like every sport team. Like I watch football the most, basketball second, and then baseball and hockey are probably just tied for last. But because Detroit's been doing so good in just every sport and every aspect, like I'm watching every single game like religiously now. Even if I
no,
don't, because I
me
don't
as
know too much
well.
about baseball or hockey. It just seeing Detroit just do good in anything, it just makes me happy. So
It's nice to not be embarrassed to say you're from Detroit, you know? Not that it was embarrassing before, but it's like, oh, your sport teams suck. At one
yeah,
point, they all sucked at the same time, which was just terrible. But
horrible.
it's nice to see they're all kind of turning it around in
I
similar.
agree.
Which brings me to the
I
Pistons, which
agree.
I wanted to talk
About
about.
time.
It was media day the other day. I saw we might have some of the best depth in the league, honestly. You know, we
Think
got
so?
King, we got Duran, we got Tobias Harris back, we
He's
got
back.
Saucer. We got so many guys. I saw the picture of them. We even got Tim Hardaway Jr., who was a former UMich guy.
Oh,
He
really?
give up
From the
some
Mavs?
numbers. Yeah, I don't know if we traded or signed him, whatever we did to get him, but I know he's here now. And then we also got Malik Beasley, who's a great shooter, I think. I'm
Wow.
pretty high up on him. But I think the Pistons are going to win more than 13 games, man. That's the hope, right?
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, bro.
I think they could
Please.
figure in that sneak into the
Just get
playoffs.
at least 500. At least
So
500.
I'm thinking we see a good year out of Cade as long as he stays healthy. Jaden Ivey, I think, will have a great year. Might even have
Yep.
that breakout year we've been hoping for. Duran,
Yep.
I'm a huge fan of Duran. He's a rebounding monster. We'll see where the rest goes. You know, Tobias Harris is kind of old now, but I still think he's a good shooter and
Mhm.
he'll give a good veteran-led presence, I think, to our
New
locker.
new
What
management
too?
helps too, right?
Oh yeah, new president of
New
basketball
president.
operations, new GM, new coach. I think we're in a great position here, truly.
I'm looking forward to this season. I'll actually watch some games.
I know I might watch more than like 5 games. So,
Yeah.
um, let's. With that being said, let's get into college football. This week was
Pretty good. Great
I
week in college
enjoyed it
football.
honestly.
Had
Um,
a great week in college football.
yeah, it was a good week. Kansas State whooped. Part of
Whoops.
our belt to
Oklahoma
ass
State.
segment here. Kansas State whooped Oklahoma State
It was
42
bad.
20.
They
That
wanted vengeance from BYU the week before, and they got it.
yeah, I would say so. Unfortunately, Ollie Gordon's not. You know,
Exists. I don't
you
know where
can't
he's at.
listen. It's the same thing I go back to with the Titans when Derrick Henry was having those insane years. You can't win
Yeah,
because you have a really good running back. You know, that's not enough. I mean, the Titans did good, but like you need depth around everything. And I think Kansas State overall just happened to be better in almost every position. So
100%. 100%.
that's just how it worked out. That was unfortunate. Next to belt to ass is UNLV, team without a quarterback.
They made a statement.
They
They
did
made a
that
statement.
was Fresno State lost to
Fresno State. Yep. Okay. Yeah. They
that's
what is it like? It was at least more like 40,
it was
40
59 to
something.
14. 59,
Goodness
yeah.
gracious.
So listen,
They
and
made a statement.
UNLV to do that without their starting quarterback's crazy. I've seen a whole bunch of edits saying it's UNLV, not UNILV, and
I
people clowning him.
like it. I like that. That's what you call taking advantage of your opportunity for that backup QB too.
I
He had an
agree.
amazing game.
I agree.
Amazing game.
Maybe UNLV is a little better than I was thinking originally. I mean, I don't really know what goes on,
100%.
but they seem to be doing good without it, even without their starting guy. So, um,
Yeah, I mean, you have a Haj Malik Williams, 3 touchdowns, 13 to 16, 162-yard passing. That's
that's
a
good
solid
enough
game
for me.
for probably his first start of the season, maybe his whole UNLV career. That's a
Yeah,
wonderful way to start that off.
I agree. Next up,
Wonderful.
next up, we got Iowa State, who beat Houston 20 to nothing. Houston put up a little donut this week. I know Iowa State was the ranked team. We had them in our
They were
picks for last week, but listen, man, a donut still is crazy.
donut. And they're in the Big 12. Houston's in the Big 12 as well now.
I
So
know. That's listen, it's I guess Iowa State might be legit this year, you know?
they beat Iowa. They did beat
They did.
Iowa.
So,
Yeah. Iowa. So, but yeah,
I don't know. They might really succeed this year, in the Big 12.
probably.
Um, but then we got for the last part of Belt to Ass, unfortunately, Ohio State and Michigan State.
Score doesn't depict how in my opinion. Yeah, it says something, but that game was a lot closer than what people thought. Like it
So
wasn't just like just constant just whoopings. Like we
Yeah,
shot ourselves in the foot so many
we did.
times,
We
bro.
really did. I think until the last minute of the second half, we had a game. It was
Yeah,
close. I don't remember
100%.
the scores off the top of my head, but it was close. And
Yeah,
Ohio State just ran away with it.
yeah.
It was just not fun. I ended up leaving like almost to the end of the third. I stayed longer than I thought. I said last
Mhm.
week I was going to leave at halftime, but um, listen, it was upsetting. I saw Ohio State is just they were steamrolling us. They really were. They didn't even look that good. It looked like a winnable game. It truly
It
did.
really did. It really did. To be
But
like Ohio State's first so and so challenge of the
yeah,
season, like they're only gonna play better teams.
I
So,
agree.
you
Um,
know,
with that being said, that makes me feel confident about Michigan. If
yeah,
we I mean we made simple errors. We really did. Aiden
he
Child
did.
was a lot better this game, I thought, than
He
previous.
did.
But
He did.
and against better talent too. So he's showing flashes of greatness, and I'm all
Yeah.
for that, truly.
But
But
yeah, I
we
agree.
got
Like when you
six
come
wide
into a
receivers
game,
out.
yeah, when you come into a game being the underdog, especially against a team like Ohio State, you can't shoot yourselves in the foot and just put yourself in a position where you have the possibility or the potential to, make this a way closer ball game, which it was, like you said, up until
Yeah,
like the last minute of the first half. You have Velling, he fumbles after a long play.
yeah.
Just
Which was
some bad,
upsetting.
yeah,
My job was dropped. I was so upset after that.
yeah, me too. You just can't shoot yourself in the foot, especially being the underdog in that
Yeah,
position. You can't have those errors,
I agree. I mean, they
and just
teach
shoot
ball
yourself in the
security.
foot.
They teach ball security in middle school football. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I get Ohio State as a talent, but you got to hold on to the football,
you
truly.
got to hold on to that. Yeah.
That was Jack Villing's moment, honestly. Like that was, I think, the longest reception he'd had of the year to this point.
Mhm.
And listen, it just resulted in a terrible situation. But Ohio State did beat Michigan State 38-7, and it was unfortunate, truly.
It was
Next up, we got our game of the year contender. Because
contender. I
oh
don't
my
know if anything will
God,
beat this.
this was
I don't know if anything will beat this.
this
This game was
was
crazy.
this was an instant classic, as they say. I got notifications off for a different couple people on Twitter and stuff like that. And JJ Watt kept every couple minutes, it was like, oh my God. Like just I love the live updates, from great players and even the insiders and stuff like that. Like they were loving it as much as everybody else, and it shows that everybody's a fan.
Yeah,
Um
off the game.
I was shocked that Georgia almost came back. Because I mean, up until like what was it, the third
It
quarter?
was
It
28.
didn't even
It
look
was
that good.
28. It was 28 nothing at half.
Like
28
it
nothing.
did
Like
not
I thought
look
the game was
great.
over.
And then Georgia woke up and decided, hey, we're Georgia. Let's actually go play.
Yeah, it was actually like play
And
like it.
hey, you know what? I'm all for it. I like Bama. You know I like Bama. I know you like Bama. So we were
Yeah.
rocking with the Tide last week in our predictions. Thankfully, the
Mhm.
Tide won.
It was.
They won
But
41 to
that,
35. It still ended up being close.
yeah,
But
41-34. Yeah, it was 28-7 at halftime.
yeah, that's
I thought it was over. I'm not gonna lie. Halftime, like, yeah, Bama has in the bag, like
That's what
easily.
I thought too. I was watching because that game was going on at the same time as the Michigan State game, and
Mhm.
so I was watching, kept getting the score predict updates on my phone, and walking home from the game, I was watching it on the Hulu. But listen, Jalen Milroe was amazing. He really was. He threw
Heisman front
27
runner.
for 33, 374 yards, two touchdowns, one pick. But what we also need to talk about is 117 rushing yards with not one, but two tutties. So, wow.
I say this is why I love my dual threat QBs.
Hey,
That's why, bro.
but he's a running back, right? No, I'm just playing. I don't think that. I can't get behind those accusations because Um, I believe he's a great quarterback. So is any
Yes.
dual threat. That's what dual threat quarterbacks immediately have an upper hand for me than a field general quarterback or someone that stays in the pocket
100%.
because they
Yeah.
can do so much more. They really can. They can turn what's about to be a sack into a 15-yard gain, which is just insane and crucial, honestly, nowadays. These mobile QBs are really succeeding.
I agree. Yeah, that
Whatever.
was
Which
that
uh
was impressive. That
which
was
leads me
impressive about
to say our first player of the week we decided was going to be Jalen Milroe. And I think that performance alone just goes into show why he proves it. Like he was insane.
That was a crazy performance. He was the rushing leader and passing leader as a
Which
quarterback.
is insane. I mean, that's like Lamar Jackson, Mike Vick numbers right there, you know?
Yeah,
But
that was impressive against that Georgia team, that Georgia defense too, which I think makes it even
yeah,
more impressive. It's not just like against I don't know, like Georgia State, Georgia Southern, some just
yeah.
like group of four, just rinky-dink FCS team. Like this is
No, that
Georgia,
was
this is
Georgia. Like
Georgia, yeah.
Georgia. Yeah. So, but listen, it helps when you have a stud wide receiver. Ryan Williams,
Yeah.
the 17-year-old phenom right now, had 6 receptions for 177 yards with 1 tutty. That man, he's not even a man yet. He's still 17. He made two Georgia players look so foolish, and they collided into each other.
They
Only
did.
Memphis Keys
Two
turning.
spin moves in one play.
That's insane. Like truly insane. Which brings me to I saw this graphic posted on Twitter. It was Ryan Williams so far in the 2024 season in his first 4 games has 16 catches, 462 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And in Devonta Smith Heisman season in the first 4 games, he had 38 catches, which is significantly more, 483 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So statistically, Ryan Williams is doing better than Devonta's Heisman season.
He is.
Now, I'm not going to dismiss what Devonta was because Devonta was insane at Bama. He really was. He was a freak of nature there. But I think Ryan Williams is just insane, truly.
Yeah. Him, Jeremiah Smith of Ohio State, these two freshman wide receivers are
Yep.
just dogs.
It's
Dogs. Like I couldn't help like even when Smith was playing Michigan State this past weekend, he had some catches. I'm just like
no, I know there was one he was like fully extended. The quarterback
face
overthrew by like
mask,
3, 4 yards, and he still brought it in. It was terrible. I was so
one
upset.
hand. And I was
I
like,
was so
goodness.
upset.
I was so upset, but I was on TV like, wow, like that just happened.
That was a terrible play, truly. Um, but with that being said, I want to talk about the Heisman runnings right now.
I think, yeah, there should be a unanimous, everyone should have a unanimous top three, and it really shouldn't be close. I'm sorry.
I agree. With that being said, you want to share your top three?
Yeah, one, Jalen Milroe, obviously, great game against Georgia, dominant throughout the season so far. Um, I mean, it's self-explanatory. You watch the tape, you look at the stats, he's doing everything
I
right
agree.
now, and he's giving Bama the best chance for success. And right now, it looks like they're not even missing Saban, because they're just rolling.
No,
So we'll see if they can
I know
continue
Saban
to
was
keep that
smiling
going.
the entire time that game, by the way.
He was. I saw him a couple times in the broadcast, and he was like, he wasn't even like they were out like 28, and he was still
Yeah.
kind of like just
He was
not
straight
smiling. I
faced
said,
though. He was straight
yeah,
faced. Listen, that's part of the reason. He's not
yeah.
the job's done.
We'll see how he goes, how he does. They still have Tennessee, Missouri, Auburn, Oklahoma
Yep.
to play. But right now, yeah, Jalen Miller was the front runner.
I agree.
Number two,
Who's
this
your
is
number two?
number two is hard. Number two is hard.
Two.
I I personally I personally like Travis Hunter at number two right
Number two.
just in
Okay.
my opinion. I like Travis Hunter
I'm
at number
looking
two.
right now at the live Vegas odds. He's number three in the Vegas
He's
odds.
number three. Okay.
Yep. But
I like Travis. He's a dog, like a straight dog, both sides of the ball.
I
He's
agree.
playing 100 plus snaps a game, and he's the most conditioned. You wouldn't be able to tell he's playing
No,
100 plus snaps.
no,
He
not at
looked like
all.
he's just fresh in every aspect. He's giving 100% every play. I mean, he's just 46 receptions so far this year, 500 over 500 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns. He's averaging 12.2 a catch, and he's locking down a whole side of the field on defense as well. And
Listen,
he probably has multiple picks. Let
I
me
think
see.
I personally I think he's a better corner. We talked about this, I think, previously in like last episode or
Yeah,
2 episodes ago. I think he's an insane corner. He really is. He is locked down, and when it comes to matter, he's there. He steps up on every play. It's truly
yeah,
crazy. And for him to be doing that on defense and offense is just unheard of. If Colorado was a little bit better overall, I think I think he'd be the front runner, honestly. Just
100%.
I mean, with the team not doing as good. That's I think why he falls down a little. But
They're not doing horrible though. They're
no,
2-0 right now
they are.
in Big 12 conference play. I think right now they're like either tied for second, either outright second or tied for third within the Big 12. Their only loss coming to Nebraska so far. So I
Yeah.
think they already have the equivalent wins to last year, I believe that they're 4-1.
Yeah, which is a
So
great turnaround. But they also started
yeah,
pretty hot last year, so we'll see where they go from this direction.
yeah,
Um,
we'll see.
he also got hurt last year, but
He did.
knock on
And
wood.
they're also Colorado's also doing this without Dion's other son Shiloh on
Yep.
defense. So it's
Yep.
impressive.
I
So we'll
agree. I
see if they
mean,
keep rolling.
Shiloh's not as good as some of the other guys there, but I do think Shiloh does make an impact.
Yeah, he makes an
Um,
impact for sure. He's a
but
starter.
no, the Vegas odds have Cam Ward right now, Miami's quarterback at 2.
At 2.
Yep, and then Travis Hunter right behind. But their fourth place guy, who's my third place guy, because
I agree.
I think it goes Milrow, Travis Hunter. But the third place, my third place, their fourth place guy,
NT.
this guy Ashton Ginty. Listen, man, he is putting up video game numbers every single week. Like, and he got benched at halftime. He's insane, truly. Like, listen, for him
He's
to be doing,
averaging
go ahead.
10 yards a carry.
That's
You're averaging a first down every time you touch the ball, Zach.
insane.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I
A
think
first down.
it's insane. I was looking at his betting odds. This was posted. What's today? Today's the third, so it was posted on the second. His line for over under was 192 and a half yards. 192. That's literally Madden numbers right there. Or
Yeah. It's
NCAA
like
college football numbers, whatever you want to say. Um, this guy is putting literally he's proven how good you can be. And I think he needs to get the recognition he deserves because
100%.
as we know, the Heisman Committee kind of snubs running backs from time to
Oh
time.
yeah.
There's one example off the top of my head that I think, but we won't
Kenneth Walker.
we won't get into that today. Um, but I think he needs to be more recognized. I think the numbers he's putting up at Boise he needs to be third.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially if it stays consistent throughout the season. He needs
Mhm.
he needs to be a favorite at that point because he might have one of the best rushing seasons ever if he continues this up.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people aren't not giving him as much credit because he's on a team like Boise State in the competition they're currently playing. But if you look at it though, their only losses to Oregon. They've played two Power Five teams with Oregon and Washington State, and in those two games against Oregon, 192 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Washington State, 259 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns. Like you can't. He's playing this good football against good teams.
Yeah,
You know, it's
no,
not
I
like
agree.
these little
They're
group
not the
of
best
five
teams yet, but
FCS teams. Yeah,
listen,
but
who he's doing it like you would expect someone to put up numbers like that against like some random school, right? Like
mm,
I can't even think of an example, but like he's doing this against like legitimate competition.
yeah,
And it's insane. Like I just pulled up his stats right here. He has 845 rushing yards on the year already with 82 attempts. That's insane. Mind you, last year he had 220 total attempts. And so he's already almost at that number 4 games in, which is just
yeah,
crazy. And he has 13 touchdowns also. So some guys don't even get 13 touchdowns in a year and they're RB1. And he has 13
it's
in week
crazy. It's
four.
ridiculous. That's just so
Week
ridiculous.
four. That's
Boise State's easily the front runner for that automatic group of five, or yeah, our group of four, group of five bid for the playoff right now if they continue to have this success.
but
I'm liking this kind
you
of
didn't pick
crash
him last week.
course.
You didn't pick him last week though.
I didn't pick them last week. I thought Washington State was going to win, coming off a nice victory against
Yeah.
Washington in the Apple Cup.
Listen,
As
you
well.
know who did pick him though? I
What do you
did.
say?
I said, you
You
know who
did pick
picked
him.
them? Me. It
You did pick him. You did pick him.
was a good pick. Um, with that being said, you went, actually, we had the same record, which is crazy for
For
college football.
college,
We had the same record. We both went 7-2, which
7-2.
7-2 is our pick record for college football picks.
I thought I did horrible this week. 7-2 is
That's horrible.
shocking.
No, that's great. 7-2. I'll take that every day of the week.
Yeah, I thought I did terrible.
But with that being said, let's dive into the NFL.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I love NFL.
Giants almost pulled it off against the Cowboys.
They did.
There were a couple bad
And
calls. I'm not gonna lie. I saw a face mask on the offensive line when the defensive lineman's hand was on the offensive lineman's face mask. Like it did not look at all. It was a terrible call. There were some really bad calls in that game.
there
But
were. Daniel Jones played good though.
yeah, he's about to stay another year. Ah,
Yeah, this is
unfortunate.
looking like.
But Malik Neighbors now has a concussion, so we'll see what happens there.
Oh, he does. That
Yeah, he does.
sucks.
But
He's been
Micah
balling. He's been
Parsons left that
balling.
game as well. I think Demarcus Lawrence is
And
out.
yeah, Demarcus Lawrence.
Yep.
Did something happen? No, nothing. Yeah, it was. Did something happen to Diggs or no?
That's what I thought I saw something happen to Diggs.
I thought something, but I don't know if he
But
left the game. But
no, he
yeah,
did.
Demarcus Lawrence was out. Micah Parsons got carted off the field,
Yep.
unfortunately.
So we'll see where the Cowboys go from here. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. Um, I
Yeah,
saw a
they're
mock trade
looking.
on the note of the Cowboys, a mock trade because with Devontae Adams' whole situation right now, he wants out.
Yeah.
He said trade me, and they've been looking for a trade. But I saw a mock trade of the Cowboys gave Trey Lance and a second round pick to the Raiders for Devontae Adams. That gives the Raiders a potential quarterback in Trey
A
Lance. So
quarterback, yeah.
good until
Besides Aiden O'Connell and Minshew.
well, I like Minshew, I do, but it's just not working out.
Yeah, it's
So
not
it
currently.
is what it
So
is. But um, that's all good, you know. So with that being said, let's talk about the Saints. Someone who looked great at the beginning of the year.
yeah.
Lost to the Falcons this week. Falcons have been surprising me, honestly. I wasn't sure how Kirk Cousins was going to do there.
He's
Kyle
doing
Pitts
good.
still doing Kyle Pitts things, and by that I mean he's not doing anything really. But you know what? That's okay. I didn't draft him for the first time ever in his NFL career in fantasy football, so I'll smile over that one. But
Broke the streak.
listen, Kamara's still balling. He really is. He's looking like the Alvin Kamara we knew from a few years
Yeah, he's
back.
still doing. He's keeping the Saints afloat right now
I agree.
after having those first crazy 2 weeks and stuff. So
Yeah.
he's being dogged.
I
Yeah,
even saw the Saints might try and get Devontae Adams because the reason, if you remember, Devontae went to the Raiders in the first place was to play with his best friend Derek Carr.
yeah. Derek
So
Carr.
I would not be surprised if Derek Carr is a huge advocate for the Saints trying to get him. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
that'd be
I
a
don't
nice
even know what they
receiver
would have to
room
give
too.
up for him,
Yeah,
but
that'd be a nice receiver room for them. A lot
yeah,
of stars
if they
with
can keep
Shaheed
Olave,
Olave
they would
and
probably
yeah,
have to
Dawson.
trade Shaheed, honestly.
Yeah, at least, at
But
least.
if they can manage to keep off them two and get Devontae, that'd be just unfair, honestly. It'd be crazy.
Yeah, I
But
agree. But yeah, Falcons are doing good though. Keeping a
Falcons
close
are.
game with the Chiefs. Close game with the Chiefs. They're 2-2.
Yep.
After losing to the Steelers week 1 and stuff. So I like where they're going right now.
I agree. Then they won 26-24, which is crazy. Um,
Mhm.
on a less professional and side note, I saw that the city of Atlanta, the people of Atlanta gave Young Ho Koo free lap dances for life at any place he wants, which is just
It's
crazy.
Atlanta. It's Atlanta for you,
It
right?
is Atlanta, but you know what? Young Ho Koo got it going on, I guess, right?
Yeah. Dog.
But,
Sure. Yeah, dog. Game winning field goal.
yeah,
What more could you want?
he might be the best kicker in the league right now, I think. The
Yeah,
most
he might be for sure.
he's also the most consistent because Tucker's kind of getting a little older. He's starting to miss a couple here and there.
Yeah, he is.
Bucker's
He
still not
is.
bad for the Chiefs. I know he had that whole whatever situation going on over the
Mm.
offseason. And but no, I think Young Hoku's my number one kicker in the league right now. If I could take him in fantasy, I would. With that being said.
He's doing good.
Um next let's talk about the NFC North matchup, the Vikings and the Packers. That was a
Great game. Vikings are
that was
legit, bro. Yeah.
I agree. It was
Vikings are legit.
Jordan Love didn't look that good, in my opinion. I know he's still
I
coming up.
don't think he should have played this week, honestly.
So the Packers are 2-0 with Malik Willis. They're 2-0. I
Yeah,
mean,
like why are you rushing to get Jordan Love back? I don't
exactly.
understand it.
I think he should have sat out this week. I know it's NFC North, so it's like huge rivalry.
Yeah.
I would have sat him and let one more week of Malik Willis because he's
Yeah, let Jordan Love heal.
yes, and because health is more important. I'd rather have him if the Packers make the playoffs or
Yeah.
need a stretch down the
You need
road.
Jordan Love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Later down in the road. You're gonna need Jordan
he
Love.
looked
Why
stiff.
risk it? Yeah. He
He
just
didn't look 100% yet, so I don't know why they rushed that. But
yeah,
Sam
they kind of
Darnold,
shot themselves in the foot this week, in my opinion, with
yeah,
starting Jordan Love. I was shocked. 'Cause I was like, yeah.
I agree.
Surprisingly, he still got me like 28 points in fantasy. I didn't start him.
Wow,
I don't know how he did that. I don't know how he did that, but
wow.
whatever.
Sam Darnold's still looking like a monster.
Picked
Um,
him up off waivers this week.
I have him
Oh,
as
Jordan Love
well.
had four
I have him on I
touchdowns.
think like two of my teams here, which is crazy. But I saw that. Guess who the two passing touchdown leaders are? in the NFL right now?
Arnold and Baker.
And Baker, yeah. So I know the Panthers are kind of punching air right now, considering they had both of them. uh,
It's the organization,
it
bro.
is. They are the Panthers are
Organization.
dysfunctional. They really are, and I think I don't know. I saw a video of what's his name? Bryce Young. He looked happy on the sideline, honestly. Like him learning behind Andy Dalton, I think is going to be a good thing long run. However, I think the Panthers still need to blow it all up, and there's nothing to
100%.
blow up, but I think they need to figure something out soon because
Yeah, they're
they've
looking
proven to
bad.
be dysfunctional. Oh, listen. But going back to the Vikings, they did beat the Packers 31-29 in a close one.
They did.
And
They did.
you know what? I'm okay with it. That's another pick right for me in our football picks there. But
I said Packers.
yeah, yeah, you did.
That's
Um,
what-
but let's talk about something that should not be as dysfunctional as it is with Philadelphia. The-
Ah, Philly's awful right now.
what is happening when you have that amount of talent on your roster?
Yeah, I don't
Can't win a
get
game.
it. And it
I
feels like
saw.
this is like a common occurrence every year. Like they have like
Oh
this
yeah,
on paper, their roster is just star after star after star after star. Yet you have, they're losing to the Falcons at home. They're getting whooped by Baker on the road. Baker has their number right now, I'll say that.
Baker's on it right now, and he whooped the
Yeah.
Eagles 33-16. But I saw, and I mean, coming from a Detroit point of view, I love it. I hate it, but I love it. Their next favorite to be head coach, because Sirianni, I think, is going to leave after this year.
Yeah, me
The
too.
fans
I
have been
don't he's
calling for
not.
his head. They were calling for his head for a minute now, towards the end of last year. But the favorite that I saw yesterday for the new head coaching job would be Ben Johnson. And I think he would do a great job there with the amount of offensive talent you have there. Ben Johnson would have a field day. That I see you smirking. What you say?
I don't want Ben Johnson to leave,
It's
bro. He's a mastermind.
the Lions are the only team right now to have all three of their coaches stay
I did see
for like
that. Yeah,
3 years.
I think like the longest tenured
Yeah, which is
between head
insane.
coach, OC,
I,
and DC.
and I think we're losing both Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson this
So you think both of them are
Senator.
going to get head coaching jobs after this season?
100%. 100%. They both had offers last year, but Ben Johnson turned them all down.
Yeah.
But thank God. So did Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn off the rip, I think, said he was staying. Um,
Yeah. I
but
think regardless of what happens, if we win the Super Bowl, I think both of them are gone easily. If
yeah.
we don't win, I still think at least one of them is going to leave. So
So I think Ben Johnson's a guaranteed.
yeah, I think Ben Johnson's leaving, after this year.
It just depends how well our defense performs for Aaron Glenn, I guess, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's been doing a great job, but um, I don't know.
Yeah. Baker's looking like a stud. The Eagles
I agree.
are bad. I don't get
Yep.
it. And
Yeah. Before we get into the Lions, let's talk about the Commanders. They are legit. Scary Terry hauled out for the first time in a long time in fantasy football for me this week, and I was so happy. They won 42-14 against the Cardinals, and Jaden Daniels is. I saw
Jaden Daniels
I think it was
is
their GM.
legit.
Yeah, no, their GM said they wanted Jaden Daniels for drafting over Caleb Williams, which is looking amazing.
It's looking like the right choice right now. He looked like the more complete QB. I saw a graphic on Instagram. I believe it said they have the Commanders have more like touchdown scoring drives than Jaden Daniels has incompletions
Which
this
is
year.
insane. Like
Insane.
the Commanders are looking good. I hate the name
They
still.
are.
I'm not. I don't like the Commanders, or football team.
I
I
mean,
I think
you know how the
just
NFC
been the
East
red
is,
team.
bro.
But
They haven't had back-to-back NFC East winners
no,
like in like the past like 20 plus years, something like that. So
I think the Commanders might be the team to beat in the NFC East right now.
that's what it's looking like right now. They're 3-1? Yeah.
Yeah, and they're playing insane, which is also shocking because they lost. They traded away one of their defensive players to Chicago last year. Um, and then Chase Young's
Oh,
not even there anymore either, right? Chase,
it was that D lineman.
yeah. Um, where's Chase Young though?
Sorry, what is that?
Where's Chase Young? Because he left too.
He's in NOLA.
I did not know that. That is wow. You know
Yeah.
what? Good for them. That's all I gotta say. They are balling. And
Yeah.
it's all as long as it all clicks, that's all that matters, right? You don't always gotta
Yeah.
go out with the best 11, but you gotta go out with the best 11 that like mixes, you know? It's not about talent at the end of the day. It's about how well your guys play with each other. We've
I
seen
agree. And
more
another person
we've
I want
seen
to
it.
bring up Another person I want to bring up too, who's been having a pretty good year so far, made headlines last year after being shot in an attempted robbery. Brian Robinson Jr. been balling out this year.
I agree.
66 carries, 307 yards, 3 touchdowns, averaging 4.7 yards a carry. He's been looking really good
So,
this year.
so listen, I know our running back kind of conversation today has been a little insane, but if you can get, I was always taught when we played football, if you can get 3 yards per carry, that is all you need. Because
You're good. That's what
six
you need.
nine, that makes it 4th and 1. That's
Yeah,
manageable. For you to get 4.3 is perfect, honestly. Like that is he is killing it. He really is. I think he's proving to be a running back one in this league. And I think I mean obviously what happened last year kept him out and he kind of
yeah.
didn't bounce back after that. But I think truly he is going him, Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin are that's an offensive triple threat right there. So
It really is.
they got the formula, that's for sure.
Yeah, the Commanders are looking really good right now. So we'll see who they play this week. Um,
They
so yeah,
play
we'll picks.
they play the Browns, Cleveland.
I know who I'll be picking.
Yeah, I think we might be on the same page for that one. But let's talk about something we both watched in Detroit, shall we? Because
I
oh
like it.
my God.
Oh, before we get to Detroit, just one more topic. I want to talk about the Jets.
10-9.
10
That's
to 9 loss to the Broncos at
that's rough.
home. That's really rough.
The Jet,
Are they frauds?
listen, I keep going back and forth on the Jets here because I think they have the talent to be a good team.
100%.
I don't know if it comes down to coaching. I know Aaron Rodgers is having issues with Salah.
Yeah.
I
I
know
did see that.
I've seen pictures. Speaking of pictures, I want to talk about Will Levis is on a generational run. He's another meme after meme after meme.
Waiting to happen. Just
It's amazing. It really is. But no, I think the Jets might be. Listen, I think they're a pretender. I really do. I don't know. They're putting up good fantasy numbers individually.
yeah.
It's just not coming
They're just
together
not winning
for a
games.
win.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I actually don't know how Garrett Wilson's doing this year. I haven't heard anything of him.
I think the only touchdown he's had so far this year is that one against the Patriots last week.
Okay, which he should be doing more. He's a wide
I
receiver
agree.
one. He's he is insane or supposed to be. Um, listen, I don't know. He wears that baggy jersey now. I don't really like that. I think that looks. I think that
I
kind of
did
looks
see
bad on
that
a
too.
wide receiver, but
But
um,
yeah, the Jets
people
there.
can wear that as like a quarterback, in my opinion. But
Mhm.
um,
I still think that yeah, that AFC East is kind of up for grabs right now still. Looks like the Bills
100%.
might take it, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how this week turns out. I think this will be a big week for a couple of teams here, but
Yeah.
um, the Lions. Oh my God!
18.
So NFC Player
I
of the
was so
Week
happy. I was
was
so
Jared
happy
Goff,
watching that game. Rightfully so.
right as he should. 18 for 18, perfect game. Not a perfect passer rating though, so I'm a little confused.
Understand that, Zach. Help me understand how you go 18 for 18, almost 300 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, throwing in the air, one receiving, and
Well,
you don't have a
the
perfect
receiving
passer rate.
touchdown. Let's talk about the receiving touchdown.
I was like
I know that doesn't play for the
shocked.
passer rating, but
Yeah, I understand
first of
that, but
all, the passer rating thing confuses me. Truly does. I don't understand what he could have done better to have a
nothing.
higher grade, but that's why I'm not one of those stat keepers at the end of the day, I guess, right? Um, but let's talk about that receiving touchdown, yeah? Oh my God. I saw
I was like, I was shell shocked. Like, I couldn't even
I
like
was
I just
confused.
saw it happen.
I'm like, what are we doing here? And then Jared Goff
Yeah.
caught it, and I'm like, my jaw was dropped, truly. Like that was
I couldn't
an
react. I was like,
amazing
did
play.
that just really happened? Like that was actually insane.
You want to talk about some of the
That was
people
really crazy.
he has a touchdown over?
Everyone.
Yeah, I saw a graphic. It had like 7 or 8 like key players that had Jared Goff has more touchdowns than, which is
I'm trying to think. I saw Kelsey, Laporta, Lockett,
yep. T.
uh,
Higgins was on that graphic,
T. Higgins.
but
I saw there's a
oh,
bunch. They're like
the
high
fact that that
profile
graphic
players.
exists right now is crazy. Truly.
Yeah.
Um,
They're high profile players. the Lions, and they look good.
Yeah.
That was like the first time I really kind of seen that offense, and it reminded me of last year and how
It made me
just
think,
dominant we were in the run game,
yes.
in the pass game. We were physical.
Yeah,
It just all
100%.
in all, it was just a great game. Like
I
it
think,
was just like a fun game to watch, and that just reminded me, took me back to like that was the first game this year because I think that without the first three games, we're looking at Jared Goff, looking at the offense. We're like, okay, we're getting by with some wins. Obviously, the Tampa Bay loss, but we're getting by. We're winning. Okay, that's good. But like something like about this offense, like it just doesn't seem the same yet, you
no,
know? And I think this is the first game where myself, probably you too, and a lot of other fans can say this Lion offense and Jared Goff are like, they looked okay. That's supposed to be more. Obviously, the standard isn't like a perfect game, that doesn't
yeah.
happen. But the fact
Too
that
close.
Goff was reading, yeah, close. He was reading through his progressions. He wasn't forcing anything. He was checking down to his playmakers, letting them make plays. He
Yep.
was throwing it on a rope. It just looked like just good old a Ben Johnson
It
masterclass.
was.
Jared Goff
It was
protected
amazing.
the ball. It was just that was the first game. I'm like, okay, that's what our offense is supposed to be like. That's
But
why
it
Ben
has to
Johnson
be.
came back.
That,
It's what it has to be like.
yes.
It has
At
to.
the end of the day, if we play like that, we're gonna have a great day. I saw David Montgomery kill a man on the field. He ran
And
right over
he
him.
wasn't even and he wasn't even the guy who was supposed to kill that man.
Mm-mm.
That man was coming to kill him, and he
Nope.
ended up getting a bullet reflected off his chest and hit him right back. That like
That is some
that was
beautiful head
that
down
was
just
so
run.
loud. Did you hear how loud
I
that
did.
was?
It was amazing.
Like I had a reaction to that. I was like,
No, literally, I felt the defender's pain there because that I know those hurt, first of all. But
Spoon
the
dribbled
fact that
on
you
the
got to
ground.
get up and try and make the touchdown after that is even crazier to me. But
The
onto
crazy
the
part about it,
touchdown too.
he didn't move.
No.
He caught the ball and stayed still. It was Spoon coming full speed. He was
Yep.
lower shoulder a little bit, and Spoon dribbled off the turf.
Low man wins.
That was
That's what
insane.
they touch. That's what they taught
He
you in
broke like
football.
he
That's
broke like four tackles. Yeah, he broke
yeah.
like four tackles in that way too on
I'm
that
excited
play.
to see. I haven't looked yet, but his yards after contact has to
Oh
be
yeah,
so high because he did a great job. He had one rushing touchdown. And listen, it was great. Another rushing touchdown that we had was two actually with Jameer Gibbs.
yeah.
Who,
Right.
those of you that don't know, I played Evan in one of our fantasy leagues this week, and
Yeah, I lost.
I
Yeah,
had both Jameer Gibbs and Kenneth Walker, so that
I
really
lost.
that put a smile on my face. But listen,
I had
Gibbs
Rasheed
played
Rice and
amazing.
Mark Andrews. That tells you what you need to know about my fantasy team.
Yeah, it's not the best situation for you. Hey, but you won't as long as you don't lose. That's all that matters. Shout out
Yeah,
James. He's I think 0-4. Um, but
that's
listen,
insane.
no, Gibbs had two rushing touchdowns. I want to talk about a couple other things here for the Lions. JMO high stepping from what, the 30 for a 70-yard touchdown or something like that.
Thank you.
And then he dunked it on the crossbar for Calvin
Got
Johnson.
flagged for it. Like what? Really?
No fun league. That's truly no fun league. Um, but no, JMO is a monster. Not even an open space. He's just
Yeah.
so fast and so athletic that if we can get like I'm surprised we really don't do more of those like jet passes to him where he's like in
Yeah,
motion.
those like end around, those jet
I
sweep.
don't get
Yeah.
why. I feel like that would be guaranteed like 6, 7 yards every time.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
who knows? Maybe they'll mix it in. Um,
Yeah.
but the Lions did induct Calvin Johnson into the Ring of Honor at halftime as well,
Mhm.
which was great. But there's one Seahawk I want to talk about, former Spartan Kenneth Walker. I know you saw, first of all, I know you
That
saw
crazy first down.
that is insane. That isn't even a video game move. Anzalone had him fully wrapped, almost on the
Yeah,
ground,
on the
and
ground.
Kenneth
He just
Walker
back
like kicks his
flipped.
feet up like one of those like ninja moves or whatever, and he kicks it up and he keeps going for the first down. That is insane.
That
That's
might have
such an
been the
athletic
greatest
play.
first down I've ever seen.
It
I'm
was
not gonna lie.
that he's a monster. I was texting you during the game. I didn't realize K9 went bald. That was like that's bald by choice. It's not even like he got a receding hairline or anything. He just
Yeah,
bald
nah.
now. Um,
Just cut it all off.
listen, but he had 12 carries, 80
Mhm.
yards, three touchdowns. So thank you, Kenneth Walker, for fantasy points this week.
I agree. I had Kenneth Walker and Derrick Henry in my other league, so those are the top two scoring running backs this week. So
I know
that
you were
helped.
happy.
That
And that
was.
in that league. Let
In
me
that league, I was in that league. But
um,
overall, yeah, Lions had a great game. I love Porter. They finally got him more involved. Four
yeah,
receptions,
no, I benched him this week,
yards.
but he
He didn't have a
listen,
horrible week.
he's slowly
He didn't.
figuring it out. I
He's getting there.
off rip, I kind of thought he would have sophomore slumps because he had an amazing rookie year. He really did.
Yeah, yeah, he
And
did.
but to be fair, I think our whole team had a little bit of a slump to start. So
I agree.
if our offensive game plan continues to be like this, we're going to be in a great place. And we're on bye
Yeah,
week this upcoming week.
bye week.
I'm
I think I liked it. At first, I didn't like the early bye week. I didn't like the early bye week at
yeah,
first because I'm like, dang, it was like the early bye week. Like we like honestly, in my opinion, like we need that number one seeding now because that grants
I
us
agree.
that first round bye in the playoffs. If we
Yeah,
get that,
would go
playing
a
in at
long
least
way.
until the end of the season. Now we have like 12 straight weeks
Yeah,
of of just
tough
football
football.
and
We,
physical
we we have
football.
a pretty tough schedule,
We have
honestly.
a pretty tough schedule,
But
and obviously we always play that Thanksgiving game. So we're gonna have a stretch where we play two games in the stretch of like 4 or 5 days, which
yeah,
sucks. Obviously, you get that longer rest after the fact, but still. So I think now, more importantly, we do need a number one seed.
yeah.
But yeah, overall, just a great game. Amon Ross scored a tutty. Tim Patrick, two
Yep.
receptions,
Listen, I was
50
so
yards.
high when we got Tim Patrick on our practice squad, and now he's promoted to active roster because he was really good with Denver. What was it, 2 years
Yeah,
ago? And then he got hurt.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then also I saw I who was promoted. I didn't see any stats from him this week, but Allen Robinson's also on the Lions.
He is an
Which
active roster. Yeah.
listen, I think we have if we can get Tim Patrick and Allen Robinson in rotation, we have an insane receiving core. We really do. I wasn't sure who our wide receiver three was going to be, but I think one of those guys can truly step up and play that role. And
Yeah,
another thing
for
I
sure.
wanted to mention actually was we were without Frank the Tank this week. He was
Yep.
hurt. So,
We were without a lot of people. We were without Frank, no Derek Barnes,
yep.
no
Yeah.
Melifonwu, no Brian Branch.
Brian Branch, yep.
We were out some studs, and we were
I'm
playing
still
the
won.
best game of the season.
42-29 win against the Seahawks. I know there's that debatable 2-point conversion. So,
Oh, I'm sorry, Zach.
you know what?
41,
Fine.
42-31.
42-31. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, you can have it. But no, I'm conflicted about this bye week because listen, it obviously gives us time to heal up a little bit because we have some early injuries.
yeah.
Like Frank. Frank is just a unit. I he might be one of my favorite linemen in the league right now. Him and Sewell for sure. But it gives us a long stretch where we just need to be consistent. We don't get this break, and it could come to hurt us towards the later part of the
Okay.
season. I'm hoping we have. Hopefully, we can play good enough to get that bye week secured in the playoffs, which essentially would act like two bye weeks because, like the last game, we kind of pull starters and everything like that.
Yeah. If we can
So
clinch the North, yeah.
hopefully, it puts us in a position where we are like that. But I don't know. It's going to be a little rough. I'm still kind of in between with this bye week.
I think one of the most important things we've got to talk about was how good the jerseys looked.
Oh my God, the Motor City Edition black jersey. I love them. I did.
Those were amazing. With the helmet, the helmets look beautiful too.
Dude,
Just everything,
I
like
think the
the
Lions,
field. They added
they
to the
did.
field as the end zones as
Yep.
well.
The banners,
Everything
little
just looked
banners around the
good.
arena as well. I think we
Like
have,
that was just
they did a great
good
job on the
looking.
jersey redesigns. They really
Yeah,
did.
that was a good looking game.
I liked the jerseys before, but some of them are really beautiful. And the
I
combos
agree.
pulling out so far have really been like icing on the cake.
Oh yeah, 100%.
We just got to
Yeah,
play. We got to play like we deserve them. That's all I got to say.
yeah.
And we
That's all
did,
I gotta say. That's
we did this week.
good.
So, looking at our predictions for the NFL, I was 12-4.
Yeah,
So
great week.
you were 11-5, which actually I thought was kind of funny. We are now tied all time 19-13. So it's still anybody's game for who has more picks or more correct picks, I guess. But let's talk about you want to go college football first or NFL picks?
Let's do college football picks first.
College. All right. I like it. MSU at 6 Oregon.
Oregon.
We're gonna start off with this.
I do think that MSU will cover though. I do think that MSU
Do you know what the
will
spread
cover.
is?
It's I think it's like 24. Let me check. Let me check. But
So
I think MSU, I think this will be a closer game than Ohio State, in my opinion.
So listen,
MSU will cover.
I think Oregon's a great team. And they always are, right? Um, First of all, I want to mention they are busting out New Jerseys for our game. This is gonna that's gonna be damn. Uh,
I hate to be Oregon. They're gonna lose in those New Jerseys. I'm joking.
yeah, I wish.
What I want
No,
to,
I think Oregon wins as well.
I'm optimistic.
If the spread's 24, it's gonna be close. I don't think this Oregon team is as good as like last year's Oregon team,
No,
but
no, no.
I mean they're still good. I think
Yeah,
Michigan State loses, but I think it's gonna be like 42 to like 24 or something like that.
it's 23 and a half. I don't see
Yeah.
Oregon beating us by more, like 21 at max. I
Really?
realistically see like 17,
So
but
what's
I do have
your final
Oregon
score prediction here?
31 to 14,
Okay.
Oregon.
I want to change mine because there's no way Michigan State's offense has not been looking dominant enough to score, what did I say, 21 or 28 points? That's just
Yeah.
not. We put up 7 against Ohio State, which honestly it should have been at least 10 points, I thought. I agree. I think we score 14 here, but I still think Oregon wins. And you
Yeah,
said
Oregon wins.
35-14? That was your predict?
It's at 31, 14,
I'm going
Oregon.
35.
Okay.
I think that's I don't think Michigan State pulls it off for this. I think
As we
what
keep talking about this MSU
are we
stuff, though, I'm really excited for. I don't know why. I'm just so like every game I watch Charles and his team play, it makes me even more excited for next year because I just know like we're just so
agree.
close just to putting it all together that I
I feel
really think this is
listen,
a
I
if
think
Oregon.
we have such a big upside.
Yeah.
First
Oh,
year
huge,
coach,
huge.
first year quarterback, whole bunch of essentially almost an entirely new team, right?
Mhm.
We've had some injuries already as well.
A lot of season-ending injuries and to starters.
Yes, but
My man Dylan Tatum, one of them.
yep, he went down week 1. But I think if we can I just want to be bowl eligible this year. That's a successful season,
Yeah, me too.
right?
Yeah, five, yeah, below
Next
500
year, next year though, we need to be like we need to be ranked.
ranked. And not only
Really
ranked, I
ranked.
need like I need to be like top like 20 at least at like the
Yeah.
floor.
Because listen, if Jack Veerling's playing like this year, he's coming back. There's no
Yeah.
doubt about that in my mind. He's not
He's
putting up
yeah,
numbers
no,
to get drafted, unfortunately.
yeah,
Um,
unfortunately.
Nate Carter, I'm pretty sure is a junior.
I don't think he should come back as well.
You think he
I
should?
think both the running backs. I think he should come back.
Both running backs can't come back. We are 15. I keep forgetting his name.
Oh,
He's six
Lynch,
year though.
Adams.
Lynch Adams, yeah, he's a 6 year though, so he's done.
Oh, he's okay.
Yep.
I think Carter should
But
come back.
I think Carter, you know what? If this can be a development year for him, and he just truly becomes like an all-around running back next year, I'm totally okay with that. We don't even need a two-front running back at that point. We can just
I don't
run to Nate Carter every time. And then Nick
know.
Marsh, obviously, he's going to be back. He's a freshman this year. I think Monterey Foster will also be back. And so,
Yeah.
he alone
Yeah,
should.
him.
Michigan State always has a
Uh,
pretty good receiving core,
yeah.
honestly. Um, but between
Gates
all
Jr.
those guys, yep, Antonio Gates Jr. But between all those guys, I think our offense should be set. And,
Oh, and we play tomorrow. I keep forgetting about that. It's not. We
we
play
play
tomorrow.
Friday. We play
It's
Friday.
Friday. Friday. So
I
I'll be
got
watching that.
the Izzone camp out tomorrow, so
Okay.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on a field with a projector, hopefully playing the game.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Or
It'll happen.
somebody camping out. But
Yeah, give me Oregon.
I agree, Oregon. Next up we got Syracuse. Actually, I want to talk about before we go into this one. There are two 25 ranked teams, like ranked 25th. I looked at the ESPN standings. I looked at Google. I looked at CBS.
Are you serious?
UNLV and Texas A&M were both ranked 25th. Unless something changed, which
On Google, I'm looking at
right now.
UNLV. I see UNLV is 25. I see Texas A&M like they have like a dash right
That's
under
what
it.
UNLV has for mine.
Yeah.
And I looked at ESPN and everything like that, and they're both and like if you look at the matchups on like the schedule, they're both ranked 25th. So I'm a little confused on that, but as for the graphics and everything, they're going to be ranked 25th. So
I like UNLV at 25 over Texas
Syracuse
A&M.
at 25, UNLV.
Syracuse, I think it'll be a good game too. That's gonna be
I
a really
agree.
good game.
I think. What do you think?
Syracuse
Tell me what you
wins.
think first.
I'll probably be rooting for UNLV.
Yeah.
This is hard. Syracuse, they have a McCord from Ohio State that transferred there.
Yep.
UNLV, they had good wins against Kansas, obviously Fresno last week, Houston. I'll be rooting for UNLV, but I think Syracuse
Hughes
might
will
take
win.
this one. I
Okay.
think Hughes might take this one.
So not only am I going to root for UNLV, I'm going to pick UNLV to win.
Pick
I think
UNLV.
UNLV's been looking good, even with a different quarterback. Um, so I'm gonna rock with them this week.
Yeah, I was like, I'm rooting for UNLV. I just think like I think
I'm not,
this
I'm
will
not
be
dismissing
more.
Syracuse though. That I
Yeah,
want to
no,
make that
not
very
dismissing
clear.
Syracuse at all.
I think it'll be a one touchdown game, maybe even a
Yeah,
field goal, but it's
I
gonna.
think this QB his first time going against a really tough opponent, a
Yep.
harder opponent. Obviously, the other QB they beat Kansas, but they had a different quarterback, a different
Quarterback.
situation.
Yeah.
Even I think they're the different running back as well. He also opted out of the
I saw that.
redshirted
This
opted
whole
out. Yeah,
UNLV thing's sketchy, man.
yeah, it's really sketchy,
But
but I think
what about you?
I'll be rooting for UNLV, and I hope the new quarterback does good. I just in his first matchup, it helps that they're at home,
You
but
know
in their
what?
first matchup against a real Group of Five team, I'm a real Power Five team, excuse me. I think Syracuse is going to get it done, but I do see it no more than 10 points.
I'm gonna bite my words here, and I'm switching it to Syracuse because listen, it's just hard. I keep forgetting they switch. I knew they switch quarterbacks, but this guy didn't play
Yeah.
anybody really. They played who? Fresno State, right, or something like that this past week. Um,
Mhm.
or no, yeah, Fresno State. So like, I'm gonna rock with the Cuse as well. Um, however, I would not be surprised if UNLV pulls something out.
I
Um,
wouldn't be either. So
but I just think Kyle McCord is gonna have a good game. And the more I think about Syracuse, and the more I think about UNLV, I think UNLV is kind of having some internal struggles right now.
yeah, yeah.
That's why I'm going to switch my pick
But I
here.
do like that matchup. I think it's
I
gonna be
do,
a good game.
yes. I think it'll still be a good game. Watch it be a
Yeah.
blowout or something. But next we got number 9 Missouri at 25 Texas A&M. Also
Give me
25 Texas
Missouri.
A&M.
Give me
Mizzou?
Missouri. My one of my good friends and former track teammate Rakeem Smith he
Oh,
transferred from DSU to Bowling Green
okay.
um this year, plays football, stud of an athlete, stud of a
Yeah.
player. He scored against Texas A&M when
Oh,
they only beat Bowling Green a couple of weeks ago by, I believe, no more than 7 points. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, it was 20-6. It was
yeah.
20-6. I think Texas A&M isn't. I don't think they're doing that good right
Oh,
now.
what
I
is their
like
thing? They
I
call
like
him the 12th
Missouri.
man, right?
Yeah, I like noon
12th
game.
man's not
I
showing
like
up.
Missouri. They're not showing up. I like Missouri. Give me Missouri for this
I
one.
agree. I think Missouri here is going to be. Listen, they've been playing really well this year. They really have.
Yeah.
And I personally don't know enough about Texas A&M. However, I just don't think I think Missouri is going to be really good this year. I do. Um, I can't see them getting ranked higher than like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
right now they're ranked ninth, so I'm rocking with Mizzo.
Yeah.
This
Missouri.
one I just put on here because this week's game schedules are just not as good as I was really hoping they would be. But
Yeah. It's an
UCLA
off
at
week.
7, Penn State. I think we're both going to probably go here.
Yeah,
Um,
UCLA is awful. Give me Penn State at home.
yeah, I agree.
UCLA is awful.
I agree. I
Really.
mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. Anytime you have to go to Penn State, it's going to be a tough environment to play in.
It is. It is. It
Um,
is.
and UCLA is not that good. So that's just
No.
that. Then we got 12 Ole Miss at South Carolina.
I mean, Ole Miss bounces back against that catastrophe against Kentucky. I do think this will be a close game, though. I like Ole Miss by 3 points. I think South Carolina's gonna
Three.
give them a dogfight. Yeah,
Wow.
I wouldn't
Okay.
be shocked, honestly. It's at South Carolina too. I wouldn't be shocked if South Carolina won. That's the crazy part. But I
Listen,
think Ole Miss they bounce back. I think they bounce back.
yeah, no, I think South Carolina's always been good.
They have.
The Gamecocks have
Their
been
only loss,
historically
they
good,
they beat Kentucky. It
but
was the crazy part was South Carolina beat Kentucky
oh,
31-6. And Kentucky just beat Ole Miss last week. Oh, how do I want to pick you? Hold on. Their only losses to LSU. Their only losses to LSU. And they gave that game away. They were up big. Uh
so listen, uh,
I might. I
I'm
want to
rocking.
go.
I like Ole Miss. I really do.
I
I
do. I
that was
might go
my
South
dream
Carolina.
schools when I was younger. I mean, I like Eli Manning, so that's probably why. And then the whole Blind Side movie made you kind of like Ole Miss even a little, even more. But I think Ole Miss is great. I really do. But this week I'm picking South Carolina.
I might go for the upset. Yeah, give me South Carolina too. Give me South Carolina too. After looking at that, I think they pull it off. Ole Miss
Yep.
is
I think so. I mean, don't get me wrong, Ole Miss is great, but
yeah, they're good. They're good.
I think South Carolina. I'm hoping they pull up.
I'm hoping. Yeah, they pull off the
Um,
upset.
Next game we got is Iowa at 3, Ohio State.
Ohio State. Next question.
Yeah,
Iowa's they don't lose.
I agree.
Sorry.
Then we got Bama at Vandy. Number one.
Yeah, Bama.
Bama jumped up in the rankings here after last week's,
Number
as
one.
they
Yeah,
should.
rightfully so.
Um,
BTA.
yeah, it really.
BTA.
Well, I mean, the
Vandy's.
scoreboard doesn't reflect it, but yes, I
It
agree.
doesn't. Yeah,
Um,
Vandy will be competitive in the MAC, bro. Like
yeah, listen, I think Vandy's not. I don't know the last time they've been good, honestly. In comparison to Bama or Georgia.
been a while. I did know this though. Vandy has the fastest quarterback in college football 25 though. I will say that. That's
Oh,
so
that doesn't change anything. Bama by 100.
doesn't change
I'm
anything. It
rolling
doesn't
with the
change
tide
my
again.
opinion. I
Um,
did play with them for one game just to see, and it's true. He's
yeah,
fast. But yeah, give
yeah,
me
like
Bama.
like like Lamar Jackson cover athlete fast. You remember what was that? Madden 19 or 18 or something or no,
Oh yeah.
something like that. He
You know
was
someone.
broken in that game. It was not even fair.
He
Um,
wasn't.
but next we got 11 USC at Minnesota. I feel like this is for me. I'm rocking with USC again. Um,
Yeah, I like USC. Had a good game against Wisconsin. Michigan's game still sucks, but
yeah,
give me USC.
I agree. And speaking of Michigan, Michigan is favored to lose.
Are you
They're,
serious?
I think they were like 2.5 point underdogs to Washington this week.
Are you
Um,
serious?
yeah. So or it
Really?
was when I checked the other day. Let's check real quick.
Wow.
Are they
Because
still
normally everyone just it's like wow.
yeah,
Wow. They
two and
are
a half?
okay. Wow.
Yeah. It's at Washington, which I think is probably the reason they're
Yeah.
underdogs here.
At
But
Washington, night game,
yeah,
night game.
I haven't
It's
heard much of
7:30,
Washington this
which
year.
would be me neither. Yeah, the only time I heard of them, I think their only losses to they have two losses so far this year. They
Yeah,
lost
three and
to
two or whatever.
yeah, 3-2. They lost to oh yeah, I forgot national championship rematch. They lost
Yep.
to Washington State and they just lost to Rutgers this past
Oh,
week.
oh, I hate the words about to come out of my mouth.
I gotta go with Michigan.
Michigan.
Sometimes though, I will say this. When I pick someone, normally the other happens. So I'm gonna go with Michigan this one. And hopefully this
Yeah,
is one of those times where I pick Michigan. And why this is one loss that I don't care. I'll take the L on the
I would
overall
love to
how
be
I think
wrong on
this
this
week.
one, honestly.
I will be rooting my heart out for Washington, but give me Michigan to
So
win it. I'm picking
I'm
Michigan.
looking at our picks right now, and we've said the same thing for each team.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, sometimes it's like
Great
that.
matchup.
Sometimes it's
But
like that.
listen, this week's a bad college football week, I think.
It's different. Don't
Looking
worry, we'll
looking at
be
rankings and everything like that, I just don't think there's any good matchups.
yeah.
But listen, so the last one we got is 8
Don't
Miami.
worry. Next
Now,
week, we'll get to it next week. I mean, next week we'll make up for this week. I promise you that.
yes,
Because I'm looking at the
yes.
games next week. We'll get to that though. Next week
Next
though.
week's going to be a great college football week.
Next week I'm a couch potato.
But yeah, we got 8 Miami at Cal.
Miami. The college game days there at Cal for the first time ever.
First time, yep. That's why I included
It's
it.
crazy.
I didn't even think it was going to be that good of a game, honestly. But I saw college game news going there, and I'm like, okay, we'll put it on the.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it for a minute. But give me the U.
Yeah.
I honestly,
Yeah. Give me the
this
U.
could be a contender for BTA.
It could be.
But yeah, so that
Cal
gives
really bad.
that's our picks this week. We have the same for everything. So I mean, we're tied right now for college football pick standings. Both at 7-2. So I think we're gonna just keep riding along, and
Yeah.
whatever it ends up being, we'll still be tied. So
Yeah.
um,
So we tied to them.
that's that. Next, we got Thursday night football, which is
And
Tampa Bay
NFL.
at Falcons.
I think one of these teams is going to win the NFC South outright. It's at Atlanta, right?
Yep, at Atlanta, which is why I think, don't get me wrong, love the Buccaneers. I need Mike Evans to have a great game in fantasy. I like Baker Mayfield. I like the whole story. but I think the Falcons are going to win this one. The Falcons have looked pretty good, honestly, throughout
Yeah.
this season. I know their receiving core is not insane, but they're getting it done at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I forgot I picked up on fantasy and I didn't even know he was there, but Ray McLeod is a Falcon apparently. So I kind of like him a little bit. But I'm rocking with the Falcons this week.
Okay. Tampa Bay, they've been balling out past couple weeks. They had, well, not past, like this past week. Obviously, they lost to the Broncos at home pretty bad a couple weeks ago. But they beat the Lions. They just dropped 33 on the Eagles. And they have gave the Commanders their only loss too. I like Baker. I think it's gonna be a shootout. I think no more than a 3-point game, honestly.
Oh,
But I will go with the
even these three
Buccaneers. I
point
think
games, man. You rocking with the
I like
three
the
point
Buccaneers.
games?
I like the 3-point games, bro. They just do it. I don't
No,
know.
I
I
don't
like
blame you. You
give
like
me
a
the
close
Buccaneers.
game.
Yeah,
I do too.
give me the Buccaneers tonight. I like the Buccaneers winning tonight.
All right, I like it. That takes us to Sunday football. Where actually this game is at like 9 a.m. The Jets at Vikings, but it's in London.
London. Yeah,
Um, I think the Vikings win. I
I
don't.
think they do.
I think it's just going to be. Listen, I know we talked about it a little earlier. I don't think the Jets have gotten it together yet. I'm not sure what the
Yeah,
issues
me
are because talent wise they should be competing, you know. But listen, Minnesota's on a hot streak, one of the only two undefeated teams right now still, which is crazy to me. If you would have told me at the beginning of the year, Minnesota and the Chiefs obviously are undefeated, but if you would have told me
either.
Minnesota would be undefeated, I'd be shocked because I honestly thought they might have finished last in
I had that too
North.
in the NFC North. Yeah, I was
I,
like Minnesota's
I
gonna.
did not
I came into
expect.
the season
I thought their
like
quarterback
Minnesota's gonna.
struggles would have been too much.
Yeah,
Sam Darnold has personally told me to go F myself or something like that and I'm okay with that, honestly. I have him in fantasy, so um,
yeah. Give me yeah.
give me
I
the
like
Vikings.
Minnesota. Yeah, me too. I'll take the Vikings as well
I
for
don't even
this one.
think
I
this
think
one's
it's
gonna be close.
too much. You don't think it's gonna be close? I think this is too much for the Jets to handle. I think they're not gonna know what to do. I do like the Vikings in this
I
one
think I
by
want to
a
say the
good
Jets
amount.
put up 14 points max, but anytime I give like my score predicts, they end up being terribly off. But
Yeah, me too.
I think the Vikings are gonna win by like a nice little margin here.
Yeah, give me the Vikings as well. I like them.
All right. Next we got Panthers at Bears. Da Bears. Um, I'm
Uh,
rocking with the Bears again. I picked them, I think, last week as well.
mhm.
Um, I'm gonna rock with them again. I think. Listen, Panthers. I just think of too many struggles. They got the
Yeah,
win
I
with
agree.
Andy Dalton 2 weeks ago. Um, I listen. I'm just not. The Bears have so much talent. I
They
think.
do.
I think the
Caleb's slowly starting to come into his own a little bit and start to
he
figure
is.
things out. So I like the Bears too with this one. Is that Carolina or
He's at
Chicago?
Chicago.
Yeah, give me the Bears.
Bears. I
I like
like
the
it.
Bears win this one. Yeah, I like the Bears win
So
this one.
the matchup we talked about briefly earlier is the Browns at Commanders now. Um,
Mhm.
I think we're both gonna go the same route here. I listen.
Yeah,
The Commanders are a force to be reckoned with right now, which is
they
just
are.
say honestly. Um, the Browns are just struggling right now.
They're
Deshaun
bad.
Watson is definitely not the answer for them. Um, I would even consider starting Jameis Winston. He is a leader on and off the field. Um, we'll see.
Yeah, Deshaun just doesn't look like a sustainable QB or QB that's gonna just put you in the best position to win right now.
Yeah.
Commanders are on a roll. Jaden Daniels is on a roll.
Yes.
Right now, in my opinion, leading rookie of the year and honestly playing like a top 10 quarterback right now. Um, give me the Commanders. Give me Commanders by a lot, actually. I
I
think they're
agree.
gonna win.
I don't think this game's going to be close. And
Yeah,
you know what? Whatever happens here happens. But you can't go. The Commanders are just on at this point in time. And
yeah, yeah,
um, you know what? I'm cool with it.
yeah.
Next we got Dolphins at Patriots. Teams. This is going to be maybe one of the worst games of the week.
This is gonna be really bad.
What are you going here? I'll let you go first because I don't want to pick either of these teams.
It's just it's like the Dolphins just don't know what to do with the quarterback. And I think they need to we talked about this, on the side like
They
personally, just talking to each other. They need to sign Tannehill. They need a veteran back there. They
need
need
somebody.
someone just like, I'm sorry, you can't why is a quarterback who's been a backup his entire life, starting? And it's just their defense looks awful. Tennessee murdered them this
Yeah,
past week with Will Levis even out, I think the second half, and with Mason Rudolph in. It's like
and they
but then it's like the Patriots on the
still
other
look
hand.
terrible. I
But it is yeah.
Did Tyreek Hill get like he had like 8 or 9 total yards like in the second half or something like that. Like it, I don't understand how. First of all, Tyler Huntley overthrew Tyreek Hill. How do you overthrow someone that's like insanely fast? That's insane to me. And it wasn't even like a good. He was like overthrown. So I don't know.
This is a hard one, bro.
I'm gonna pick the
This is a
Patriots
really hard one.
because I think the Dolphins. I think Tyreek
It's
Hill.
at New England, right?
Yep, at New England. I think Tyreek Hill, on a side note, has been trying to start some trade rumors around himself. If you've seen his Twitter or anything like that, he's kind of starting something there. But I saw
So.
another post saying, it'd be crazy if Patrick Mahomes had a receiver like Tyreek Hill, um, which just kind of put a smile on my face. And it was like, oh, if Tyreek Hill had a quarterback like Pat Mahomes,
Patrick Mahomes.
I'm going to be honest, if they were still together, they would put up numbers still. They I don't think Tyreek should have left. I know the money was a huge thing, but it's kind of like a failed experiment, in my opinion.
Yeah. They're both. Can I like pick them to tie or something? Like
You
at
think it'll
this
be
point,
you can pick Ty. I mean, that's probably a guaranteed loss.
that's
That's
not gonna it's
no
not
way
gonna
tie.
happen. But they're so bad. They're both so bad. You picking the Patriots? You said
I pick Pats. Yeah, I think I don't know what the Dolphins are going to do. Essentially.
they can't do anything. They're not even playing. Like I feel like a college team could beat them right now. They're horrible.
Yeah,
They're actually awful. I
maybe
mean,
not.
they're really
I
bad.
don't think I don't know. That's
Okay, I
that's a
know.
whole debate that I don't like.
They're well, Zach, in their past two games, they scored 15 points.
Yeah, but the NFL talent is just still.
I know, no, no. I'm just saying. I'm just
Oh,
using
okay,
that as
okay.
an
I thought
example.
you
I'm
were
just
trying to
trying
make a case for
to.
a college
Oh
team.
no, 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 no,
No,
no.
no.
Nah. In the past, I'm just saying. In the past 3 games, they scored 25 combined points. They're just unsustainable. At least the Patriots are keeping games somewhat
Yeah,
close. Give me, dang. But didn't three Patriots get mauled by George Kittle last week?
yeah.
I'm gonna go Pats too, bro.
That's
The Dolphins. I can't pick them right now. I'm actually debating even starting Tyreek this week. Is
No, I don't blame you,
that
honestly.
crazy? Like,
Tyreek, no, because what did he do last week fantasy wise? I don't even
what? I'm about to show you.
probably didn't do nothing,
Didn't
honestly.
do jack. Didn't do jack,
Um,
Zach. Didn't
I
do
saw he was
anything.
on that imperfect team from the like NFL fantasy post every week. But
Really?
yeah,
He didn't do anything. Hold on. So he scored, yeah, 8.2 points last week.
that's honestly not. That's like wide receiver three worthy.
What do you say?
That's like wide receiver three worthy, except it's Tyreek Hill. So, um, that's just rough.
Yeah.
Next we got Colts Jags. This could be honestly a decent game. You know,
Is Anthony
Jonathan,
Richardson got out the game last week hurt?
he
Flacco
did.
came in and balled. Well,
I think
like
I
the
think Anthony
dog
Richardson's
he
still
is.
supposed to play though.
Oh, he's in line to play.
I
Even
think
I think if
so.
something happened, I would start Flacco. He balled out against the he beat the Steelers,
If you would have
who's
told me,
looking.
if you would have told me that Joe Flacco and Andy Dalton would lead teams to win in the year 2024, I'd have thought you were crazy. They,
I agree.
it's insane to me. Like these guys, don't get me wrong, I love Joe Flacco. He is elite back in the day. Oh my God. But he's like old. He's the same age as Anthony Richardson's mom,
Yeah, it's like 8 days. Yeah, she's like eight
which
days older.
hilarious. I saw a whole bunch of jokes about that online, but listen, I think I know Jonathan Taylor's questionable right now as well.
Oh, he is.
Yep. I think Evan Ingram for the Jaguars is also questionable. I don't really know what the Jaguars be doing, man.
Jags, they're not. They're the only winless team
They're
in the
not
NFL right now,
yeah.
and I think that streak continues. Give me the Colts.
Colt, really? Okay. You know what? So like I'm up in the air because obviously if Jonathan Taylor plays, it's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
I think the Jaguars are lost. They did pretty good last year. They had a nice little
Yeah,
stretch, but
they did.
I'm actually gonna rock the same with you here and go Colts because I just don't trust the Jaguars. I just dropped Trevor Lawrence in fantasy because he's
He's
not
horrible. Yeah,
really isn't. Um,
I had to. If Laporta can play through a high ankle sprain, so can JT. Give me the Colts.
yes, I agree. Well,
Mhm.
maybe, but I still got Colts.
Give me the Colts. Give me the Colts.
Next game is Bills Texans at
This
Texans.
is this is gonna be a good game.
So it's gonna be a
Because the
little
Bills
reunion
got
between
killed.
Diggs and Josh Allen as well. Von Miller, though, I don't know if you saw
He is
suspended.
suspended.
I don't know what he did. I know they said
It's
player
like some personal
personnel
conduct.
violation or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, something like that.
No fun league. Going back at that. What are you picking here? Because I think it's good. I think this will be a good game. I do.
I think this is going to be a great game due to the fact that I think the Bills can potentially have a big bounce back game after getting throttled by the Ravens.
Yeah.
It is away at Houston. Who did Houston play last week? Do you remember?
They played. I don't think it was a good game though. Let me.
Yeah. I can't remember who they played. Let me
They played
see.
they played the Jaguars and only won by 4 points. It was
By
24-20.
four.
CJ Stroud's not been doing too
He's been
hot.
doing just enough. He's been doing just enough, but
I have him in
still,
fantasy, and it's making me regret who I'm taking here. But
really.
yeah,
I might Texans in a game-winning field goal.
Texans field goal. Okay,
I'm gonna go
I'm rocking
Texans.
with the Bills here. I think we'll switch it up. I think Josh Allen is the key to success for Buffalo. Obviously, right?
100%.
But I think he's proving he can win with anybody. You know,
Yeah.
they have a good group of guys. Plus, James Cook is a unit at running back. I don't know if Joe Mixon's playing yet for this week for the Texans.
Oh, that is
Even
true. I
still,
forgot he was out.
the Nico Collins is like leading the league in receiving yards and one other stat as well. But Nico Collins is a dog. Diggs is a dog, and Tank Dell I've not heard too much about this year.
Yeah, he hasn't been playing that much.
But I think the Bills. I agree though. I think it'll be a close game, but I'm going to take the Bills, and I could be
Big
totally
Bills.
off on this, but I'm going to rock with the Bills.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if the Bills won. Give me the Texans. I'll take Texans.
I like it. I like it. Next up is another game I think is going to be a little close. I mean, let me rephrase. Maybe it'll be close. It has potential, but the Ravens have been. They looked great last game, and the Ravens play Bengals at Cincy this week. I don't think Joe Burrow has been struggling a little bit here.
Yes.
Uh,
Bengals only win against the Panthers this year,
yeah.
so that should say something.
Whole Jamar Chase thing, I think, has kind of put up a little
Yeah, a little bit of
bad,
a I
bad
don't know, divide.
chemistry, I guess. But
Yeah.
T. Higgins is still. He just came back 2 games ago now. He did pretty good. I saw a video of him saying, "Don't start me this week in fantasy." I should have started him in fantasy. He had like 13 points, and on my team, that is like wide receiver one numbers. So,
Yes.
yikes. I'm rocking with the Ravens though. I think they're starting something crazy here.
Yeah, I'm going with the Ravens as well.
I like it.
I
I
think
was you and I have talked. I'm so high on like an option play with Lamar and Derrick Henry because that is I would not want to be on the other side of the ball for that.
not
Those
at
two
all.
guys are it's truly a dual threat option. It can go either way, and it's gonna result in like a touchdown almost either way too. So
Yeah,
give
100%.
me Ravens. Um,
Ravens. Okay.
I think the Bengals are just struggling too much right now.
Yeah, me too. I don't like what
But
they
they'll
are.
get
The
out of
fact
the
that your
funk.
only win.
But I don't think it'll be against the Ravens.
Yeah, I think the fact that your only win right now is against the Panthers is not for a team like the Bengals isn't good. Give me Ravens.
Next we got Raiders Broncos. So
Broncos.
Broncos, the Broncos. Listen, the Broncos have always had a great defense.
As always, yeah.
Always. Um, and for that, I'm gonna also pick Broncos because I think the Raiders' offensive struggles have been a little
Yeah, abysmal,
struggle.
honestly.
I mean, I know they were out like 6, 7 people last week, including
Yeah.
their two best
And they
players.
still won though. They still won.
They did. but I'm picking Broncos as well this week just because
Yeah.
I just don't think. Listen, team chemistry can get you there, but the Broncos defense is always around.
Yeah. And Devontae's not playing this week. I don't know if you heard.
Oh, he's being
Um,
a little drama queen here, I guess. But
yeah. He's not playing this week. So yeah, I like
so
Broncos.
you
Give me
got Pat
Broncos
Surtain guarding their wide receiver too now. Um,
pretty much. And that's gonna be
give me
very
Broncos,
lopsided.
and I think honestly, I don't think this one's gonna be close either.
Neither.
I think we might see a nice little flash of Bo Nix.
Yeah. Give me the Broncos. Yeah, I like Broncos. Well, let's see what happens. But yeah, I like Broncos.
Next, we got the Cardinals at 49ers. What you thinking?
49ers. Cardinals are awful.
They started hot.
It started, it
And
started, yeah.
they look good, at least in I know week two, they looked amazing.
At San Fran, right?
Yep, at San Fran.
Yeah, give me Cardinals.
You're going Cardinals.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, 49,
Oh,
49, 49. I'm
I was
tripping.
about to say, I'm like, oh my God, that is,
Yeah,
I'm rocking with the
49ers.
Niners as well. I just think, listen, I know the 49ers have had a little struggle here, but I think Debo's back fully. I know
Mhm.
Kittle's always around. I like him
Yeah.
sell. CMC, they might be without for a long term here. Seriously.
Yeah, terrible
That
news.
whole
Like 10
that whole injury,
tendonitis
yeah.
in
I
both legs.
both, yeah.
That's hard.
So, but
Yeah.
Jordan
But
Mason is
yeah,
getting it
Jordan
done. He
Mason's
really is.
he's getting it done.
He's
He's a
gonna
he's
get
a
running
hard
back one
runner.
money at some point here.
Yeah. He's a hard runner. I see him like play. I'm just like, goodness,
Yeah.
I'd hate to tackle that guy.
No, yeah.
But
Speaking of hard runners, real quick, I want to take it back to college football. Rutgers running, they breed angry runners there. I saw a video of them
oh yeah, oh yeah, I saw
running
that.
over people this week, and it made me think of Pacheco again. But yeah. So next we got Giants at Seahawks. I
Seattle
think,
bounces back.
yeah, I agree. I think the Giants will play decent though. I do. Sexy Dexy is a unit. He's like the highest graded nose guard in the league.
Mhm.
But Malik Neighbors might. I'm not sure if he's out yet, but I know he does have a concussion.
Yeah, he might be out.
I think K9's going to continue being him. I'd like to see Tyler Lockett be a little more involved. They have a great
Yo,
receiver core
yeah,
out in Seattle. So give me Seattle as well.
yeah, I like Seattle.
I just think that's the reality of it. Next, we got Packers Rams. What you thinking here?
I think I'm not gonna lie. The Rams, I mean, yeah, they have obviously competed well with us and they beat the 49ers, which was surprising as well. But they just haven't was still without Puka, and I think Cooper Cup's still out as well.
Nope.
They just and that loss to the Bears and I think they have another loss too. I feel like it was another bad loss. What was it the Cardinals? I think they lost to as well. Um
Yeah.
the Rams did. So and they're going against who? I'm sorry, what do you say?
It's Packers.
Packers. Where's it at? LA?
Yeah, it's at LA.
I mean, if you really look at it, like, yeah, Jordan Love, obviously, in my opinion, still not 100%.
Yeah.
And he did look kind of stiff. I just saw that he's still, like, to my point when I said earlier, when I said that he still got like 28 points in fantasy, I don't know how the heck he did that. I
Yeah.
looked at his stats, bro. He's still like 32 of 54, 389 yards passing, and
32 of
touchdowns.
54.
Yeah, 32 of
Oh my
54.
God, they're slinging that thing.
389 and 4 touchdowns. He did have 3 interceptions though. But
They still put up
I
good
I
numbers.
like the Packers. I like the Packers. I think they bounce back against the Rams.
Oh, I agree. I think I might pick against the Rams in almost every matchup here,
Yeah, it's just
or until they get some help back. But Aaron Donald retired. That's a huge loss right there. They lost essentially half their offense. It should. I can't name more than like two people on that whole team now.
yeah, I really can't.
I
I don't
think the
know a lot of
Packers win.
drivers.
I think the Packers show out this week, though. I think the Rams are just struggling too much to be.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So I like the Packers.
And then the last Sunday night football game here is Cowboys at Steelers. I personally hate both. No, not hate. Hate's a strong word. I dislike the Steelers, but I hate the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys, after a close one with the Giants, showed they're really not all there. CD
Mhm.
got paid, Dak got paid. Micah might be out. Lawrence is definitely out. I'm gonna rock with the Steelers this week. Justin Fields has been looking
I'm
good.
gonna do the same. Yeah, Justin Fields had a great game last week, even in their loss to the Colts. Fields had a day,
Yeah.
22 or 34, 312, one tutty.
Yeah.
I like the Steelers in this one. This is
I
Sunday
do
night, you
too.
said?
Huh?
Sunday night in
Yeah, this is the
Pittsburgh.
Sunday night game.
Yeah, I think they get it done. And that defense too,
Steelers defense is always that's another thing, Broncos defense and Steelers defense are always like
consistently just good,
I
just
don't get
good.
that, Mike
They
Tomlin
win them
is a
games.
huge fan of
If it
him.
wasn't for their defense, both teams would be horrible because their offense can
Oh
sometimes
yeah,
be abysmal. But their defense is literally what wins the Broncos and the Steelers games half the time.
I agree. You think George Pickens is gonna get his first touchdown of the year here?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Jeez, he's on my
Especially if
fantasy
Diggs,
team.
I don't know what's wrong with Diggs. I don't know if it's long-term wise, but if he's out, then you know what? I might give him a real chance.
Mm.
But no, give me Steelers. And then we got our
Yeah.
last game here, Monday Night Football
It's
with
just one game, or is it two?
I think it's just one for Monday night.
Oh, thank God.
I
Oh
know.
my
I don't
gosh.
know why it's ever two.
It's
We
horrible.
got Saints at Chiefs.
I need Kansas City.
Yeah,
Even without Rasheed Rice, it's just
I agree.
Arrowhead, prime
You know what?
time.
Listen, I think with Rasheed Rice now out, I think Juju is going to take a bigger role.
Yeah,
We might see a little bit of that Steelers Juju again. I don't know though. He's kind of been having a rough little stretch since he left the Steelers.
I
Um,
agree.
I think Travis Kelce's going to have to step up here and
He,
play.
he will. He will. Especially now more than ever,
Yeah. You know what? As long as Taylor Swift's in the game, I guess he'll do good, right?
I guess.
But yeah, no. So I'm gonna rock with KC. We picked
Yeah,
very
I like
similarly
Casey.
here again.
It's just like it's just
The
another week just of
college
NFL and
football,
college where
yeah.
it's just like I mean it's good matchups, but it's not like I don't know.
There's no
It's not
there's no really clear cut really competitive games this week.
I agree. I agree. What was
Lions
the
go
only
bye
team
week.
we did different? We in the NFL was the Bills, Texans.
Bills, Texans, and Falcons, Tampa.
Oh, okay, okay. All
Uh,
right.
Everything else we picked the same for. Which
Okay.
they're kind of like you would expect them to win. I don't know.
Yeah, so we'll
Uh,
see.
but yeah, I think that'll get. Listen, we'll have weeks where we'll probably have no picks the same, other than maybe Lions and stuff like that. But then
Yeah.
we'll have weeks like this where we're almost identical. So
Yeah, last week we played a lot of different teams. So
did and you know what? I jumped the ranking. We are tied. It's crazy. We're actually tied all time, 19 and 13, like I said earlier. In football pick Sunday, NFL Sunday and Thursday and Monday picks. But we are also tied in college football, which is kind of crazy too. So, with that being said, that's all we got for you guys on this episode. A
we're
little bit of
three, episode
monologue.
3.
Yeah,
Chugging along, chugging along. It's already week like 5 of the NFL. It's kind of going a little fast. A
yeah.
little scary, bro. A little scary. I was like, I don't want it. Like, dang, it's already like a little bit, almost a third of the way, you know. Like next week will be a
And we're
third of the
already at
way
the bye weeks,
over.
which is just insane. You
It's
know.
insane.
So, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, really appreciate it.
Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you guys think. Some picks.
Follow us on Instagram. We're on TikTok as well.
We
Um,
are on TikTok.
but we'll leave those linked down in the description and the channel as well. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching.
See you next week.
Yep.